On this season of Listen to Black Women, we will be tackling everything from small business ownership and body positivity to breaking generational curses and out-of-the-box bedroom behavior. No topic is too taboo for the ladies at this table.
We're just a couple of Black women with occasional guests who are here to speak freely about love, life, and all the bullshit and business in between.
The new season of Listen to Black Women starts now.
And now that we've got all of the pleasantries out of the way, let's jump into our first topic, the principles of pleasure. There's a never-ending discussion about Black women's behavior in the bedroom and not enough discussions about what we actually need and deserve when it comes to sex and intimacy in a relationship.
It's always what we should do and what we shouldn't do, and never what can I do for you. On today's episode of Listen to Black Women, we'll be discussing Black women's sexual agency and how we're owning our sexuality. With that being said, let's get into the question of the day. Introducing sex toys. Into your relationship can seem intimidating, but a study conducted by WeVibe suggests that 49% of couples who use vibrators report communicating often, whether it be about sex or other subjects. In contrast, of those who don't use vibrators, only 29% of couples could report the same amount of openness and communication. And we all know communication is key, especially in the bedroom. But even if the odds are ever in your favor, the jury is still out on when it comes to busting out the toy collection with bae. So the question of the day, ladies, when is it appropriate / the right time to introduce sex toys into the bedroom with your partner? Who wants to tackle it first?
At the door, okay? At the door, there is no point of us even continuing this relationship. If it's a no for you, then this whole thing is a no for me.
Is it simply because you don't want to use the sex toys as a no, or is it the no from the partner having inhibitions? And I don't like inhibitions.
I just feel like if something works for me, right, then if it doesn't work for you and it works for me, then we're not a match.
I also feel like you should just be comfortable. Like, no matter if you're having sex with bae or if it's a one-night stand, I really feel like you should be comfortable, you know, expressing your needs. If you need that sex toy, if you need, you know, whatever to, you know, get you to where you're going, then like, girl, get it. Like, don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
Okay?
I mean, I was never a sex toy girl, but I got my first orgasm last year with a sex toy.
Wow.
Which
one?
Well, it was a vibrator, but it was with bae at the time. I thought I was gonna fly out my apartment. Like, I was like screaming, like I turned into Dumbo. Like, I was literally flying. And I had never felt that type of pleasure before. So now I'm like, oh yeah, like, you definitely should introduce that. And I think it helps both of you guys get to know like your body, like what's going on down there, like how to please yourself. I've always had difficulty with that too. So now that I know, like, oh, okay, like it's a little spot in there. That's the spot. Okay,
that's
cool.
the spot.
Like, so I advocate for it.
I love that for you, girl.
Girl, I love it too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna air high five y'all over there because I'm very happy that you had your first orgasm. But this is just to show you. And you said one of baes, which means you've had, yeah, I caught that. Bae at the time. You know, but you're a woman who is, you know, sexually strong and independent, and you just had an orgasm.
Yeah.
And it was due to a toy. So if ladies, listen to Jessie, Woo.
Yeah, so you know what I was gonna say? What about guys who, have you guys ever run into like guys who are intimidated by you having toys?
I did.
Yeah.
He snatched it out my hand.
Are you serious?
And that was a red flag. But you know, it was the lockdown, so I had to make it do what it do. I'm like, oh, that's a red flag, but we're gonna ignore it. Right, but he like took it and he, like, you could tell he felt some type of way about it. And we didn't really talk about it. And here's that stat that you gave, right? That communication was kind of like dwindled because he already did that like passive aggressive thing without actually having a conversation about it. And then we never really used it again.
And there's a way to do that. Like, if you're uncomfortable with something that your partner is introducing, like, it's not that way. It's not snatching, it's not shutting down, but it's actually, like you said, having a conversation about it, being open to it, because when that happens, like, I'm so glad you still, like, you know, you identified that as a red flag and said, oh, okay, forget this. I'm still gonna use my vibe. Maybe not with you, maybe with somebody else, maybe by myself. But like that just like connotates a lot of like shame for a lot of people when you do shut down, you know, those ways that we explore ourselves like that. So shout out to you. I really hope that like I hope that other women who have experienced that can like kind of follow in that footsteps and just say, okay, you're not the one for me. Let me try other avenues.
Any dude who knows that something pleases you and he wants to snatch that from you, that's not the dude for you.
Right.
Because he's not into pleasing you.
When you get into the nitty gritty of, that's coming up, y'all, the whole conversation and the aspect of insecurity and communication, there is a deeper reason behind it. And then once you get there, then you're starting to break down emotional barriers, and then your sex is going to get better anyway. So let's get into the nitty gritty, shall we?
Yes.
Whether it's in the form of lyrics from Megan Thee Stallion, hey girl, IG Lives with Chloe Bailey, or the everyday TikTok user, millennial/Gen Z Black women are owning their sexuality and sexual agency in a way that the generations before were not given the luxury. So ladies, what are some taboos you've heard about Black women in the bedroom? I'll throw one out there, that we don't give head.
That's so stupid.
Or that we give a lot of head.
Yeah, like where did that come from? I know that that's like more of an older myth, but I just like, even when I saw the storyline come up in Insecure about Black women not giving head, I was like, what, like where, who is doing this? Cause like, you know, myself, my friends, like we love pleasing, you know, our partner.
Yeah, I mean, you're so right. Jessie had a pause right there.
I mean,
I don't know about that.
I'll do it.
I took a little pause.
When she said love, I'm like,
No, I mean, I love it too.
Cause I mean, I'll do it or whatever, but like it's gotta be there for me. Like I'm one of those people who's like, it's gotta be there. And I'm very much like catching a little whiff first, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm making sure, you know what I'm saying? You ain't giving me football gym, you know what I mean? Like I wanna make sure I'm getting zestfully clean. Okay, you know what I mean? So like but I think when it's the right situation, like yes. But like I feel like with Black women, I don't know about other women's, but I know with Black women's, we just have more like, we take our time before we
I think we're more guarded.
Yes, like, you know what I mean? Cause like, that's a lot.
There are a lot of things that have been weaponized against women to like prevent us from actually enjoying sex and enjoying certain sexual acts. So I do wanna like acknowledge that. I think that that's where you were going, but like it really is unfortunate because there is like this history of disrespect there, you know?
If I'm happy in a relationship, you gonna know.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I can't stop. And if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, I'm not giving you head just because. It's like, it's the standard. If you're treating me right, then you get it. If not, then you won't. And that's how you know.
Okay.
Okay, so we have another one. There are still a lot of cis hetero Black men that don't want a toy in the bedroom. We were just talking about sex toys, ladies. Why do you think men are just like, I mean, insecurity was mine, so.
I feel like if a guy is toy phobic, if that's a term, like if a guy is toy phobic, that man is not sexually free. Okay, I feel like a lot of men that are, I will even touch like if a man is homophobic, most of the time he's toy phobic, because like it just feels to him, it's like, why? Wait, I don't have. It's just weird to me. It's just weird. Like you're not sexually free, and because you're not sexually free, you don't want me sexually free, and you want to keep control of when I'm pleased. And it's like, no, I actually want to take control of my body as well. Like there are times when I'll let you have control, but there are times when I know what I'm doing, and why don't you join me in that? Why are you not happy that I'm getting pleased? Like, I don't get it.
My thing is, I don't like going into the bedroom with inhibitions.
Right.
I don't like if we're about to do it and you start asking me all types of questions. I'm like, nah, baby, let's get it in. What's going on?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then we'll figure it out as we go along. So I think for me, it's like the inhibitions of saying no.
Right.
Because then I'm just like, oh, I don't like you saying no. Sometimes you don't even want to do the crazy thing that you read on Twitter or whatever. You just want to know that your partner is willing to go there with you.
Right.
And that, you know, I feel like when we're women and we feel like we're so into our guy and he's like, oh, he's so sexy, I'm about to, ooh.
Right.
And it's like, I feel like when the man is saying they won't do that to you, it kind of takes away from your sex appeal and how I'm feeling.
Yep.
But here's what I want to make a point to, right? Like, are our men that we're laying in the bed with prioritizing our pleasure? Because if they're not, then what is it that we're doing? You're really just trying to dominate me. And if you're not trying to lick me up and down, so I say stop, then I feel like that's a major red flag. And I've been in that situation, like thinking it'll get better. Like maybe if I get nastier, he'll get the hint. But it's like you want head, but you don't give head. But the deeper thing is, why am I dealing with it?
You know what the another truth is? A lot of these men are not nasty as they think they are.
They're not.
Y'all not freaks. You're not the freak you think you are.
Like that.
I don't know.
I mean, listen, guys, if he Caribbean, okay. But I don't know, they some freak. But no, but a lot of these men are not as freaky as they say they are, and you really find out when you try to bring a toy or when you try to bring like other ideas, and it's like, no, sir, I don't want to have the regular, you know, like heterosexual Caucasian sex all the time. Like I'm trying to have like something else, you know what I mean? And I feel like these topics really expose men because you will find out like they're not willing to do a lot of things, but then they want you to come in and gobble and do splits on the penis and do all these different things. And it's like you don't even want to do half the things.
And it gets so frustrating, like when you have done the work and when you have explored your body, because the point blank in the period is that we as Black women, we deserve amazing sex. Like that's just what we know. And when you're dealing with, like if you deal with men, like when you're dealing with a man who, you know, is kind of like, for lack of a better term, elementary in his like sexual intelligence and of not only just you know sex overall, but of his own body and of women's bodies, and then it really does make it like, okay, well, what am I doing here?
But look,
you know,
how did he get
like,
that way, right? Because a lot of women are lying about if we're satisfied or not. So when they meet a real one who's like, what is this? They don't even know how to deal with it because they thought that they were Mr. Porn Star 3000.
So ladies, we've made a lot of great points and I love where you were taking that. And it just makes me think, why this generation, where did the change and the shift happen? Like what happened that made us be so sexually woke that we were like, nah, nigga, that ain't hitting it the way you think it's hitting?
Lil' Kim.
Come on.
Pornhub, X videos, whatever it is that you like. You know, what else, y'all?
I feel like talking to your mom, like one time I asked my mom, I said, my mom suggested one time that when I get married, I can move in the house with my husband. She's like, you can just move in with your husband. You have to get your own house. You know, it's expensive in the world. And I was like, what if you hear me having sex? And she was like, have you ever heard me having sex?
Ooh.
And I was like, that's so true. I've never heard you have sex. I was like, have you ever had an orgasm? She's like, a what? And it's like, girl, I don't want that.
It was
for me.
a generational curse, girl.
You broke it.
Come on. Yes.
And it's like, honestly, and it's like, it's funny, but it's not, because a lot of our moms did not enjoy sex. And they don't even know that they didn't enjoy it. They just did it and, this is what it is. And it's like, no, girl, this is supposed to be a moment where you feel like you flying out the house.
And oftentimes did it out of obligation, out of feeling like, all right, well, I'm married to this dude. Come on, let me lay down. And it's like, no, it doesn't have to be like that. I love the internet so much. Like, I love, like, the, you know, like you listed so many, like, you know, female rappers, like from Lil' Kim, Gangsta Boo, Meg Thee Stallion. Like, there are so many women, like, openly and have a platform to talk about their sexual freedom. And, like, even from an advocacy standpoint, like, there are platforms like Afrosexology, Lexual, like, so many people who are out there doing the work to educate and really reprogram how we as women understand our bodies and understand sex. And like, we ain't lying about coming no more. Like, if you ask me if I came, no.
First of all, don't ask me that. If you ask me that, you red flag.
First of all, second of all. Second of all, we're in the season of Black women taking no shorts. So we're getting the bag, we're looking good, we're going on vacation, and we're making our own money, so we don't need to lie.
What I think though is that the older generations weren't enjoying it. They didn't have the power and the money and the ownership of themselves because they weren't working. They weren't out to be able. They didn't even want women to read back then, okay? So now we're educated, we're paying our own bills, we don't need you. We just don't need you in that way, and when you don't need someone, you're able to explore on your own time. Okay, ladies, we've said a mouthful, wink, wink. I thought it would be fun to close out the show and play a little game of this or that based on today's topics. Okay, here's the first one. Sex on the first date or 90-day rule?
Sex on the first date. Okay, if I know what I want, I'm gonna get it. Like, why am I waiting?
Okay.
I'm in between.
Ooh.
But the thing is, like, I know if I want to have sex with you by the first day. Like, I know.
Yes.
So then I'm just trying to figure out how I'm gonna get to the. But you know, I like to take my time. I'm gonna scoot to the.
Yeah. Okie dokie. I'm not waiting 90 days.
No, yeah, that
but
I'm not waiting.
I actually don't like sex on I'm not like a one night stand kind of girl. I have to build up fantasy. I have to like really be into it.
Anticipation is
Yeah,
power.
I have to really build up into anticipation. Send nudes or send IG profile.
First of all, I'm not sending you anything, okay? That's number one. Send the Cash App before we talk about, no, I'm kidding. But seriously, I feel like in this day and age, I'm not sending anybody my nudes, right? Because they're gonna be worth a lot of money one day. So you're not about to get that for free. One day soon at that. So I'm not sending you jack squat.
You know,
Unless you're my man though, okay? Like if you're my man, we're gonna keep it spicy.
I've never been a send nudes
Me
person.
neither.
I don't know what it is. I just was never a person that.
I mean, you
sent
also
nudes.
have a huge following, so if someone gets Jessie
That
Woo
too.
nudes.
Somebody did get my nudes last year though.
What, they broke into your
That was like
iCloud?
my first. No, it was my first time sending nudes, and I didn't get a good response.
They left you on red? They left you on red?
I sent him.
Absolutely not. He does not deserve. He does not deserve. He should have been. He should have been
I
saying.
said that, but really, I was
saying?
talking about this past a couple days ago. Like I sent him nudes, and he was like, "Yeah, so good morning."
Bye. Bye.
Red flag.
Okay.
Bye.
And mind you, like I got new titties. Like my nudes is fire. So
I know these titties is hitting.
boy, hello. So we
can't.
just never talked about it.
He did not deserve.
After that, I was like, okay, I'm never doing this.
I
again.
hate that for you.
Yeah.
You didn't know. Girl, you good.
Yeah, no. I'm only sending
Titties
like
or not.
baby nudes, and he put all the drooling emoji, everything. But no, if I don't know you like that, no, you maybe get my IG, but also like you can Google me.
Google me.
Like,
Y'all are too much. Oh my gosh, we can talk about this on and on, especially you, Jessie. You just dropped the bomb on us and we had to move on. But thank you all for tuning into this week's episode of Listen to Black Women. We'd love to hear your thoughts on today's topic, so hit us up on Twitter and make sure you tag @MadameNoire.